Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Betty.
Give way.
How you all doing? Salute.
All right, so I am talking to Betty. I met Betty probably last year or maybe, I don't know, it's been a while.
Been a minute.
And I wanted to interview him then, but I got really busy and missed him several times.
Yeah.
And so today we're finally sitting down and talking about his career and who he is outside of the spotlight.
Yeah.
And so, Betty, I was telling you before we started rolling that I read some interviews about you. I read several, and I read one specifically in Creative Loafing about your upbringing here in Charlotte. And I also read the comments.
Okay.
And so,
I haven't read that.
yeah, I wouldn't read the comments.
Okay. Okay.
So I know that you've been doing music for a long time. How long have you been doing music?
In business sense, when it was official, since 2006 when I started my company, Hood Superstar Entertainment. But music, I mean, I've been writing poetry since I was in high school, 10, 15, so it's like, since I'm a little boy, you know what I mean? I started off in poetry, so the lyrics just came, with second nature.
And right now you're promoting a song called Groove.
Yeah, Groove.
Tell me about Groove.
Groove is just a sexy song, it's kind of, bringing, a little R&B hip hop, bringing back the 80s, we sampled the system, Don't Disturb This Groove. And I got Sequence Clark and him and Fresh had the idea, and Sequence produced it and sung on the record. And, it kind of took off, honestly, without our any push. It came off the Me album, and people liked it, and one station just picked it up. I guess they heard it and they played it, and people reacted to it, and they said, no, it was 2 stations, 3, and so on. So it's
And
doing good.
Groove is off of your Me album.
Yeah, it's off my Me album.
When did you release that?
We released it at the end of 2012. We worked in 2013. The first single was Shoot Them Down with Bert Simmons. Then we went into Gucci Size 11. Maybe it was 2013. Maybe I got my years mixed up.
It's been a good little while.
I work, man, so it's hard to tell. So Groove is the third single. And it's doing good. It may be a bonus on my next album just because it's kind of running into my next album, This Real Life. But the Me album is full of some singles. So it'll be some more video releases off of that,
Okay, so the people around Charlotte know Betty as the musician, as a performer. And I was telling you, I read some of the comments, and
You're trying to speak on these comments. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, so I read some of these comments, and the comments were like, he is just trying to fake the Atlanta sound in Charlotte, and there are other people here who are better than him, that type of thing. A lot of more, he's not real type of comments, right? And I think it just comes from the competitive nature that people have in general.
Definitely.
So
We tear down before we build up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I am all about building up. So what I want to do is share with the people who you are outside of who they think they know.
Okay.
Who the real you is
definitely.
when nobody else is around.
Definitely.
I know that you're a dad, and
Yes.
we were talking about your relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. My dad's on the way down here now. So, from Ohio. So, yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, so I was reading, and similarly, somewhat like a relationship I had with my dad, my parents were married when I was 6.
Okay.
And so I kind of grew up in both situations, both, child of a single parent, child of a married couple type situation.
Yeah.
What was your upbringing like?
It was similar to that. My mother, had me at 17. She graduated, and I was, in her belly, as you would say. And she walked the stage. My mother got married 26 days before I was born to my father. He was 20. My upbringing, my father, he loves me to death, loves my sisters to death. But he was in a life. You know what I mean? When you're in that life, that life comes with a lot. And during his time, you didn't mix family with that type of business. You kind of kept them a secret, so that when you're dealing with Haitians or Jamaicans or Mexicans or, people from South America, they want your family when, if you mess up with money or owe money or just war. In that time, there was a lot of wars when he was in that whole cocaine era. And so his time was vague with us. I mean, my father may have lived with us maybe 2-3 years of, you know, the first 10 or 12 years of my life. Well, all my life. I mean, after that, my mother left him, you know, when he got locked up, and he got 10 years. She just was like, you know, I gave him, you know, more than, you know, I should have, you know, given him. You know, I waited around, and I was married to him for 10 years, 12 years. Lived with him 2 years. And she struggled throughout the entire time. You know, my dad came around, it was kind of like that Christmas dad, you know, when that dad that just comes around during Christmas and takes all the shine from all the struggle mama had all year, making sure you had a warm bed and food. He would come around and bring all these toys, and cheers for daddy, we love daddy, he's the best, you know. And he would come along, you know, and buy bikes and buy all different types of things and put you in suits, but his presence was far from close. Sorry, people speaking, but so he was, you know, I love my daddy. You know, my daddy got locked up. Same informant that locked up Mayor Manberry and Rayful Edmonds locked him up. You know, he was in that same era. He just was caught up in the life. And, he got out. And he chose, you know, try to be a better man, but so, you know, a day late, a dollar short, you know, and we rebuilt our relationship. I was bitter for a while, but I learned from him to try to be a better father, you know, just from watching, you know, from what I didn't have, you know, growing up a single mother, being hurt, brother, husband, and son, you know, it's a lot on a boy just trying to learn, you know, find himself.
And you have a daughter now, right?
Yeah, I have a daughter. Yeah, my daughter turned 13 about a week or so, last week. Yeah, I got a beautiful daughter. I went to see her this morning at her little private school because I go out in the country in the morning with my father. I'm taking my whole team with us. We all going to the Bahamas for a week. So my father's coming down, everybody's going. So, but yeah, I had to go see her. Yeah, my baby.
All right. So, you know, with your dad not being around, who taught you how to be a dad?
Well, number one, being a father, I think, is in every man. I think you choose to ignore it. You know, some men choose to ignore it. It's always a fight to try to be a better dad. You know, I think I'm a good dad, people say I am, but I know I can be better. If it was up to me, I'd be home with my daughter every day, just instilling her with wisdom and mind power and strength, you know, to empower her as a, you know, woman. But I got to pay the bills too, you know. But my stepfather, my mother remarried. Stepfather, OC was, he taught me that, you know, some of the morals of just being a man and, you know, taking care of home and cutting the grass and taking out the trash and respect the lady, don't argue with a lady, you know, just you're the man and you lead by the example and she follows your example. So if you out here acting crazy, she's gonna act crazy. If you act with some sense, she's gonna act with sense. So OC showed me a lot. But my friends, I mean, we all came up, you know, as single mothers, and so we all had to kind of pick up and learn a little piece of life, and we kind of molded each other on what's smart and what's not, you know. And, but just going through the struggle with my dad and not having him there, you know, everything he didn't do, I wanted to be there to do for my daughter, you know. So everything that I didn't have, I tried to give her, you know. And I was in the streets, so I felt myself slipping at times, you know, because you get so caught up in the money and fast life, the woman in cars, etc. And you, like, I ain't seen my daughter in 3 days, you know, and then you stop by and give a couple $100 to a mother and give her something, give her a kiss, and you back out the door, and, you know, you had to catch yourself, you know, so, you know, like, you just learn, you know, but, you know, I'm so what they say is a good father, but still working every day, you know, just try to be better. And I do better when I have another one, you know.
And let me ask you this. You said you found yourself out in the life. When did you have that revelation that you were kind of repeating the steps that your dad followed?
At her beginning years, I didn't. I was right. I was kind of, with her mother and I, when we split, and it separated the household, and I was here and they were there, or she would be with me, it was kind of back and forth. It gave me more time to be involved in my extracurricular business. And that's when the demon picks up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Betty.
Get wet.
Girl, I know I've been a little busy. Getting to the money, yeah. Stay on the grind, putting on for my city. Baby, that don't mean I ain't always thinking about you. You're my biggest inspiration.